This today's class we're going to see about the three-phase circuits. So what are the advantages of three-phase circuits over single-phase systems? So when we transmit three-phase power instead of single-phase power, so there are so many advantages like the first thing, so we use thinner conductors when we go for a three-phase system. Why? Because we transfer the same kVA rating when we compare to the single-phase system. We transfer the same kVA rating at the same voltage. The conductor size is reduced. If the conductor size is reduced, automatically the amount of copper required is reduced. So it is typically about 25% is less, so that it reduces the construction and maintenance. It is very important point. And the next thing is when we carry this conductor over a long distance, automatically the supporting structure is automatically reduced. That means when we go for a big conductors, the supporting structure we put is a massive one. Okay, so that the cost is also increased. Here the conductor size is reduced, so it is thinner, so that the supporting structures size is somewhat reduced. And the third one is the three-phase equipment and motors have preferred running and starting characteristics compared to a single-phase system. It is very important. Why? Because so due to that, more even flow of power to the transducer that can be delivered with a single-phase supply. Okay. In general, we said the most large motors are three-phase motors because they are essentially self-starting. If it is a single phase motor, it is not a self-starting one. But in case it is a three-phase motor, definitely it is a self-starting one. So that it does not require any special design or any additional starting circuits. So these are some essential advantages of three-phase circuits over single-phase circuits. And we go for a three-phase generator. The typical figure is shown here. So here the induction coils are placed 120 degree apart on the stator. Since three coils are used, so A, B, C, so consider these are the notations. So these are three coils, and these three coils have equal number of turns, and each coil rotates with the same angular velocity, so that the voltage induced across the coils has the same peak value and shape and frequency. It is very important. Okay, so at any instant of time, the algebraic sum of three-phase voltages of a three-phase generator is 0. Okay, so it is explained in this phasor diagram. So consider, so it is the given three-phase voltage generated in the three-phase generator. So consider it is a phase voltage, and this is B phase voltage, and this is C phase voltage. Okay, so in this diagram we infer some important points. So consider when one of the voltage is 0, any one phase of the voltage is equal to 0, then the remaining two phases has the magnitude of 86.6 percentage. It is very important. 86.6 percentage of the peak value. So that is shown in here. Here it is 0.866 into EM, and this is 0.866 into EM. That means these two voltages has opposite polarity. If one is positive, then definitely another one is negative. It is only when one of the phase voltages going to 0. And similarly, the next inference we inferred from this diagram is when two phase voltages are equal. So consider this point. Okay, so at this point two phase voltages are equal. At this condition, the another phase voltage obtain a peak value in the opposite direction. Here these two values are equal in the positive direction, so that the another phase voltage goes to a peak value in the negative direction. So only it is minus EM. Similarly, you check whatever it is. Okay, and here in India we use 50 Hz supply. So there are two types of frequency is there. The one is 60 Hz and the next one is 50 Hz. So in United States we use 60 Hz system, and in Europe countries and India so we use 50 Hz system. So each system has its own advantage and disadvantages. It's depend upon the geographical conditions, etc. So there are so many factors should include when we decide this frequency of operation. Okay, so now we write the equations of this waveform. So naturally the waveforms generated by a three-phase generator is sinusoidal. Okay, I am already told that in a three-phase generator the shape, frequency, peak value all are equal. The only thing, the difference is the waveforms are 120-degree phase shift or phase apart. That's the thing. Okay, so that I write this equation. So I take A as reference point. Okay, how I take some reference means just consider. So you are sitting like this at this point. Okay, so normally the phase sequences are given in the anti-clockwise direction. It is very important. Okay, you are sitting here. Now the rotor is rotating. So at first, which sequence is crossed, you take it as reference. So here EAN is given. So I take this as reference. Okay, it is rotating in anti-clockwise. Next, you see what will come? It is EBN. So that the next phase sequence is EBN. The third phase sequence is ECN. So each phase sequence has 120-degree phase shift. So that initially the e power EAN, which is equal to EM, is a peak value into sin omega t. The next sequence is EBN and it is 120-degree lag. Okay, so that we put minus 120. Similarly, ECN, which is equal to EM into sin of omega t minus 240. So it is around 240-degree lag from the reference point. I write like this, otherwise it is plus 120-degree. So both are same only. So that this ECN is replaced by either EM into sin omega t minus 240 or EM into sin omega t plus 120-degree. So which is given in the phasor diagram. Okay. So now consider, so from the previous diagram, so we apply the law of vector, which states that the vector sum of any number of vectors drawn such that the head of one is connected to the tail of the next and the head of the last vector is connected to the tail of the first is 0. So that we conclude that the phasor sum of the phasor voltages in a three-phase system is 0. So it is a vector law. So we see that. So in the previous phasor diagram, it should like this. So consider it is EAN, it is EBN, it is ECN. Now what we do means just I cut it here. So that it is EAN. Okay. So now I take this piece EBN and I move to the, this is tail, this is head, just I move it here, it is EBN. Similarly, I move this ECN cut piece and I join this head to tail. Okay. So when we do this and it forms a closed path like this, then the phasor sum of these three, which is equal to 0. This is the concept given here, so that the value is 0. Okay. So now the next one is star connected generator. Here star means we know that there are three coils will be there. Okay, so consider it is coil number 1, coil number 2 and coil number 3. So there are three coils is there, and these three coils are displaced by 120 degree. So now I connect the one end of coil to a common point. So all these coils one end are connected to a common point and the remaining ends are connected to a load. So which results in a star connected three phase generator. So that is the given. So this point is called as the neutral point and it is denoted by capital N. Okay, suppose here the neutral, in neutral point there is no conductor is connected to the load. That means the resultant diagram is known as three phase 3 wire system. Suppose the neutral, the conductor is connected to the neutral via the load. That means it is called as three phase 4 wire system. So depending upon the neutral conductor connection, it may be either three phase 3 wire system or three phase 4 wire system. Okay, so normally three phase 4 wire systems is used if it is unbalanced exist. Okay, so but in our problem most of the cases we go for it is a three phase balanced load connection. At balanced conditions there is no current flow through the neutral. If it is unbalanced one, the unbalanced current is flows through the neutral conductor. So let's see in our next classes. So here for a star connected system it is shown that the line current is equal to the phase current in each phases. So consider this is the phase current. Okay, this is the phase current and this is the line connected to the load and we said it is the line. So here the phase current which is equal to the line current in all three phases, and similarly the voltage across this particular coil is called as phase voltage. Okay, so when we measure the line voltage means we measure the voltage across any two phases AB, BC, CA line. Okay, suppose I measure the voltage across the line and the neutral means which is taken as E phase. That means it is a phase voltage. Suppose when we measure across the two phases then it is called as a phase voltage. So we see the relation between the phase voltages and line voltages. Okay, now you see here, so the outermost blue color lines are called as the phase voltages, the inner line it is in the black color is taken as a phase voltages. Okay, so we know that according to the KVL or inner row, so just you consider this EAB minus EAN plus EBN which is equal to 0. We know that it is the vector law. So we see in our previous slide. So we apply the loop equation in this loop. Okay, just you follow the path. It is EAB and here it is EAN, but the arrow direction in the right hand side, but we travel in the opposite direction, so that I put minus sign here, and here it is EBN. Now I add these three value which results equal to 0. Okay, now just I take this equation to the right side, so that EAB which is equal to EAN minus EBN. Okay, here this EPN is replaced by minus of ENB, so that already the minus sign is present, so minus of minus plus, so the resultant equations is rewritten like this, so that EAB which is equal to EAN plus ENB. So now from the phasor diagram it is explained very clearly. So consider we just redraw the phasor diagram like this. It is EAN, ECN, EBN, and just I extend the line EBN in the opposite direction so that it is replaced by ENB. We know that EAB is the vector addition of ENB and EAN. Okay, now you add these two vectors. So I simply redrawn here, then only you know the concept. So this is EAN and this is ENB. So EAB is nothing but the vector addition of these two. So that I draw like this. So just see this diagram. That's only I am redrawn here. So the vector addition of these two values is given as EA. So from this diagram you know that each voltages are phase shifted by 120 degree. So if I extend the line in the opposite direction, automatically the angle between these two is 60 degree. That means the angle between these two is 60 degree. It is very important. Okay, and one more thing, the vector addition shows that the angle between these two values exactly it is in the midpoint, so that the angle between these two is 30 degree. Okay, now you just draw the perpendicular line here and perpendicular line just hereafter you see here. Okay, so now I want to find out the distance like this. I want to find out the distance these two. Just you apply the normal Pythagoras theorem. We know that from the triangle, so this is the value of angle which is equal to 30 degree and this is the value of EAN. Okay, and I want to find out the value of this x. Okay, so from this diagram we know that x is equal to EAN into cos 30 degree. Okay, it is very important. Okay, so cos 30 degree value is around root 3 by 2, so that the value of this corresponding part is root 3 by 2 into EAN, and similarly I want to find out this value also. Okay, again it is root 3 by 2, so the total value of EAB is addition of these two values, so that the resultant value is equal to root 3 into EAN. So that from this derivation I conclude the line voltage is equal to root 3 times of the phase voltages. Okay, so then I move on to the next one. Okay, so I am already told that here EAB, the angle with reference to the EAN is around 30 degree. So from the phasor diagram I explained it, so that when we draw the phasor diagrams of the line voltages is line voltage is 30 degree phase shifted from the corresponding phasor diagram of the phase voltages, and the magnitude is multiplied by root 3, so that the resultant line voltages is given by like this EAB, ECA, EBC. Okay, which is equal to sin omega t plus 30 degree and plus 150 degree plus 270 degree. We know that it is 30 degree phase shift, so only we add the 30 degree shift in the sinusoidal waveforms. That's all. Once again I conclude, when the sum of line voltages is 0. We know that in the previous diagram also it is explained. Okay, here the phase sequence of the star connected generator is given here. The phase sequence is very important when we go for the three phase generator. If the phase sequence is varied, okay, automatically the operations and other things are definitely some impact is there. For example, if it is a three phase generator, consider if any two phases is interchanged, then automatically the rotation direction of the machine is definitely changed. Okay, so there is a severe impact when we change the sequences of the three phase voltages, so that the phase sequences is very important when we go for a three phase circuit. I'm already told that you take some reference and you rotate in the anti-clockwise direction and you fix the sequence of the corresponding network. So that is explained in the phasor diagram. Here A is taken as reference, here P is a fixed point. So at that point only we fix the sequence. So like that, for line voltages and phase voltages, they fix the corresponding sequences. Okay, it is in the anti-clockwise direction. So from the phasor diagram, so consider it is a phase voltages. Here the first one is EAN. Next I face the ECN and it is EBN. Just you see. So like that. So here ECN is there and here EBN is there. So that it is the phase sequence for phase voltages and it is the phase sequences for line voltages. Here EAB is there. The next one is ECA. The next one is EBC. So like that we should fix the sequences. Okay, and the next one we go for a star connected generator with a star connected load. So we know that if it is a star connected generator, already we know that the phase current which is equal to the line current. So this is the first conclusion. And similarly this I phi L is nothing but the load current entering into the terminal. So in this case these three currents are equal. So which is explained in the equation number 6. And similarly V phase, here pi is nothing but phase. V phase is nothing but the voltage across the impedance Z1, which is equal to the voltage across the coil here. Okay, so that in both the cases both are equal, so that E pi which is equal to V pi. And it is a star connected generator. We know that the line voltage is root 3 times of the phase voltages. So it is shown in equation number 8. So these are these important conclusions in the star connected generator with star connected load, and I assume all the loads are balanced. That means Z1 which is equal to Z2 which is equal to Z3. Okay, so in next class we see the problems relevant to this. Thank you.